Hey everybody, it's ETF Professor. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, that being emerging markets, and we're going to talk about one of the most dynamic opportunities to come along in the emerging markets universe in quite a while, and that being Vietnam. I understand that Vietnam, and I think everyone understands this, occupies a very controversial place in American history, and rightfully so. But in the past few years, the Vietnamese investment thesis has gained a lot of steam, and I'm kind of putting it moderately there. Part of the reason for that is just simple geography. We're looking at a map of Vietnam here. Here's the country in the darker shade. It shares a border with China, so that gives Vietnam some leverage to the quote-unquote Chinese growth story. What I like even better than that is that Vietnam is close to Thailand, and Thailand is one of the top, if not the top market to be involved with in Southeast Asia. It's better than any of the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China. Much prefer Thailand. And also Vietnam is close to markets that have a lot of potential going forward. Cambodia and Myanmar definitely at the top of the list. And those are rough markets, hard to invest in right now, but Vietnam does give you some exposure to them going forward. One of the other reasons I like Vietnam is because it's I should say contrarian view, and that is that to this point the country hasn't attracted a lot of foreign direct investment, or that's just a fancy way of saying how much money have foreign investors poured into Vietnam. And relative to comparable markets, say Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam has not done that well in terms of foreign direct investment. Now, I preface that by I should have prefaced that by saying this year is supposed to be a little different. They are expecting a much more robust foreign direct investment number for Vietnam in 2012, and the number is expected to increase exponentially going forward. Now, what that says to me is that people are just a little scared of Vietnam. They don't understand the market. They view it still as a communist country. Those are valid concerns. It is a small equity market. The total market cap of all Vietnamese stocks that trade in Hanoi are combined is less than Facebook's market cap, if you can imagine that. So you have some issues where they're very superficial in nature, but it keeps Western investors out of the market. But the good thing about that is, for those that are willing to take a chance on Vietnam right now, is you're getting into the game in the early innings, to use that overused baseball analogy. The Vietnamese growth story is really we're talking, the bottom of the first or the top of the second inning right now. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be Apple at $100 and it'll go up to $600. That's too bold of a claim. But I do firmly believe, and the evidence is there to support it, investors that get involved with Vietnam right now will be getting in on the early innings of a phenomenal growth story. And there's evidence to support that. Increasing bilateral trade and rising per capita GDP. These are very important and very encouraging statistics that are critical to any emerging market's health. And I would say, if you were buying into an emerging market through a stock or an ETF, these are two statistics you absolutely have to look at. And this is from 2001 through last year for Vietnam. It's just a very impressive, compelling uptrend in both. The yellow is the bilateral trade. The red line with the blue dots is per capita GDP. And the good thing is, there is one very, very easy way to get involved with Vietnam right now, and that is the Market Vectors Vietnam ETF. This is the only ETF on the market that gives you exposure to Vietnam. I've had, and with my premium subscribers, we've had excellent success with this trade in the past. It's a current open position, but we traded in and out of it earlier this year. We caught a very nice chunk of this early 2012 move up into late February, early March. You can see VNM has had a little bit of a struggle here in the summertime, but I like this consolidation over here above 18. Really, it has to fill in these gaps here, and there's no firm resistance until it would get back to challenge its 52-week high. So I'm seeing VNM in the mid to high 20s even before the end of this year.